let's start off with a small tour of my piece of land. I basically asked the owner, is it okay if I use it? And she said, well, it was used to store a lot of trash and other stuff. So, for almost for free, I basically got myself a nice piece of land. Let's see what we have here. As you have seen previously, like there, that's my bunker entrance. Some people might say, nah, it's just one of those powerhouses they basically put on certain places. Oh yeah, because most powerhouses have like two door handles that could lock it down more than seriously from the inside. So that's not just some kind. You could open it up, but it's a bit untidy, so I'm not showing you my bunker today. A little bit of help because I need to move stuff around on this place. My mock watchtower, because if I would put up that chair, we could go up there and enjoy ourselves a little bit of sun, but not today. That's like a shit ton of brambles that even encroached on a dead tree. So there's no way to pulling this one out, at least for now, until I've cut it back on the brambles. These two trees here, this one and the one in the back, they are plum trees. One of the plum trees is really nice. This one here, the first one, it's having a lot of fruit during the summer. The one in the back was also bearing a bit of fruit, but I think it was already starting to get ill. It wasn't growing that much, but it's still okay. That in the back, the third one, would also be a plum tree, but it's already dead. It's a dead standing, so I'm not going to remove it for now. Most likely because of all the brambles that killed it, because they are encroaching on everything. This is my wine. There are tons of grapes growing there in the summertime. You won't believe how many grapes they are growing. It's almost ridiculous. There's also a dead tree over there. I'm pretty sure my neighbor did throw it over his fence because that wasn't there a few months ago. So I'm pretty sure he tried to remove his old stuff. But I actually keep it there because now the brambles can grow back. That's what I wanted, because he also cut down all the brambles. He even got onto my piece of land without my permission and started to cut everything down, which pissed me off seriously, because those were some very nice brambles. I pick them every time I'm here. Now we are standing in front of one of the apple trees. There are two of them. This one and this one that you can't see right now because of the sun flare, because whoa, it's very sunny. That would be one of the sites I could enter my property, but I'm currently staying from the other side. This is my digging site. I'm basically removing all the dirt and earth that I can find here to put in pots so plants will grow. Delish. That would be my place to store some wood. Currently there's no firewood to store, but there's already a small self-made oven. I'm most likely going to rebuild this whole thing because I think it has way too much, how do you say, diameter? It's basically too big. I don't think it will pull the air up even if you put a fire in there, so I'm most likely going to make it a bit smaller from the sides and just a bit higher. This I found, I still have no idea where it came from, but it's actually a gravestone from some guy called Etwas. Basically, sometimes you can't see his name, sometimes when the sun is put in the right direction you can see a lot of it. Whoever Etwas was, I'm sorry to have your gravestone. I did not put it here, someone left it here, but I'm going to make yourself a shrine just to be the protector of my property. Maybe that helps. There are a lot of brambles again, because they are just growing everywhere. Brambles are the pest. They are just irremovable. My water storage, because sometimes you need water, especially when we have such hot summers like the last year. I could go into this direction. There's a lot of land into this direction, but I'm not going to force myself through all these brambles. But it's not just brambles. Over here we have even more grapes. This is a grape plant. I put this scaffolding into them just to grow up, but they basically decided, oh, you know, we could also grow up this tree. And now they are growing into this tree, which I don't mind, because then there's more room for the grapes to grow. Just something for all the birds and other animals that would like to have a drink. I have no idea how this is called in English. This is called Staudenknöterich in German. It's basically some kind of pest. It looks like bamboo if it's all grown down, but now it's basically still holding on to its leaves for some reason, because all the other plants basically already dropped their leaves. This is shit. This piece of plant is emitting some kind of milky substance if you cut it, and if you get into contact with this, it's phototoxic. It's basically getting worse the longer you have it on your skin and the more you are in the sun. Now, this used to be a way that I've made with stones. You can't even see them anymore, because over there would be my toilet. Currently there isn't. And I have to cut back on a lot of shit. But as you can see, you could basically put a toilet seat over here between the two stones, dig a hole and have your way. There's also some way in here. I have never cut it open because it's all covered by brambles. No, going back. Ouch! You son of a... All this way you can see here, all these stones, they have been covered by earth and moss, but not just a bit of covered. I had to use a shovel and basically remove everything. It was almost like some kind of carpet growing all the way back to there, because this whole area wasn't maintained for like 10 years or something, because no one did care. Then I put in some planters, because I'm trying to be self-sufficient, and as you can see, we still have a tomato. These are basically very old tomato kin. They grow on themselves. They don't need to be cloned like modern tomatoes. Modern tomatoes tend to be not growing because they are used to being cloned every time, so it's always the same plant. If you put one of those tomatoes into the ground, there's a good chance they will never grow because they are not even used to it. Curious, is this? It's starting to get mushy, but it's not that mushy, unlike those. But usually they will basically just drop down in nature, and wherever they drop down, there's the next plant growing. So I'm waiting a bit. This was growing on its own, although it's put in a planter. That's Trollkirsche. I have no idea how it's called in English. It's very poisonous. Don't eat those. They wouldn't give you a good time. And there's a little bit of water there because I put a small cup, or how is it called? Just so some of the animals that don't want to climb up the other places, they can get their water here, like mice and hedgehogs and whatever is running around. I'm pretty sure there are hedgehogs and foxes and other things visiting my place when I'm not here. So, this is the last piece of resistance. Usually that would be lavendel. I have no idea how it's called in English. But currently it's, of course, it's late in the year, so it's not even showing what kind of plant it is. All the crops have grown back. Now, usually there would be also a type of an RV sitting on this place, but currently I'm on the work, so I can turn it into a home because I don't want to use it anymore outside of this place. It's basically not even meant to be driven around. I only want to put it onto this area, and then it stays there for whatever time I will have this place. So I'm basically living here like Peter Lustig. If you know this guy, he is quite interesting to watch. He made a lot of videos for children, and he was living in some kind of mobile home that was usually used for construction workers, so they can put their stuff in there if they're not on the building site. Yeah, that was the tour of my land.